ako Pilipino. Ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko. Para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at magpapatalo. Ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, syumbe, sibay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino.
Habang nagbukas na ang Premier Basketball League ng ating bansa, painit naman ang mga aksyon sa iba pang liga. Pasko sa Nobyembre para sa mga sports fans. E di paano? Bango na! Power and Play na!
Power and Play with Com Noli Iyala.
Isa pong magandang umaga sa inyong lahat mga kapatid mula po sa TV5 Media Center sa aming pong 1PH Studios. Ito po ang Power and Play hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Lou, Mangyerong May Aluminum, Cherry Tigo, There's More to Our Cars, Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan, True Religion, where passion meets power, and Smart, Live More Today. Kamusta po kayo lahat? Sa ating pong mga suki sa buong Pilipinas na nakikinig po sa Radyo 5, 92.3 True FM at sa ating pong mga mga stasyon. And of course, mga nanonood po sa 1PH on Signal TV and Facebook Live ng Power and Play. Radyo 5, of course, ngayong umaga pong ito ha. Naku, 11-11. Ang ganda ng numero ngayong araw ha. 11-11. Naku, pagdating sa ganyan mga numero, hindi lamang magandang tayaan yan, pero maganda rin po para sa mga mamimili. Naku, balita ko, ang dami na naman mga sale online at saka sa mga tindahan at talaga namang yung mga misis na naghahanap ng konting bargain para sa aginaldo sa Pasko, nagsisimula ng mamili. Ito ang araw para medyo makatipid-tipid ng konti ha. And very exciting lagi yan para sa mga mamimili, mga may hilig mag-shopping. And sana nga wag niyo ubusin kagad ang naisubi na savings ng pamilya. Talking about exciting, sabi ko nga, ang dami pong nasa kalagitnaan na o di kaya papalapit na doon sa mga playoff ng kanilang mga liga ha. Kaya nga sabi natin parang para sa sports fans, nakakalito itong mga panahon na to. Ang dami po nating pwedeng panoorin. Nandyan of course ang MPBL ha, yung kanilang semifinals, finals mainit na ha. Nandun na po sa ganung klaseng stage ngayon ang PBL ha. Tapos po yung ang alam natin, yung Pampanga nasa North Finals yata, yung tinatawag nilang finals kasi kalaban ang San Juan ba yan? And of course yung Bacoor and Batangas semifinals na yata yan, ano? Napaka-exciting po ng mga laban diyan. Andyan din of course ang mga collegiate leagues kung saan papasok na po tayo sa Final Four ng UAAP. At saka yung pong, of course, ang NCAA, ando na rin po sila sa tail end ng kanilang preliminary round. And of course, yung pong PVL, nasa kalagitnaan na ng preliminaries at painit na ang aksyon. Nagsimula pa yung tinatawag na Pilipinas Super Liga. Nagsimula na rin yan. At kung atin naman pong tututukan sa labas ng bansa ay yung NBA. Of course, nasa simula pa lamang ng season pero yung in-season tournament nila nag-iinit na po. In fact, today, kasi every Tuesday and Friday sa Amerika yan. So dito, Wednesday and Saturday. Today po, siyam na laro na naman dun sa in-season tournament ng NBA. Ito po yung tournament within a tournament. Huwag na kayo malito kasi talagang lilituhin kayo ng NBA. Pero the way they package this, makikita nyo, pag nanood kayo, alam ninyo na ibang-iba mula dun sa torneo na regular season ng NBA. Ganong kagaling mag-market itong mga taga-NBA. And it's really very exciting at marami pong ika nga nakatutok dyan sapagkat napakarami din ng at stake. Of course, ang PBA po natin, halos isang linggo na ang nangyari kagabi. Napakaganda ng ipinakitang laro ng Phoenix nang talunin nila yung koponan po ng NLEX. Kahit pa paano yung price recruit o import ng NLEX si Thomas Robinson mukhang hindi pa nasa kondisyon. Hindi natin masyadong nakita yung ganda ng laro niya. Pero again, ang PBA po ay nagsisimula na. Pero ang akin lang pinagtataka ay talagang bakit ganun pa rin kakonti kahit na ang tagal pong nawala ng tao ng laro ng PBA, konti pa rin po yung mga nanonood sa loob ng venue. Ano ba yan? Issue ba yan ng ticket? Issue ba yan ng schedule? O talaga bang nawawala na ba ng mga fans ang mga ilang teams o karamihan ng teams ng PBA at yun na lamang pinapanood nila yung mga masyado ng popular na team dahil yun ang mga malalakas? O inaabangan lang ba talaga ang semifinals at finals dahil alam na kung sino ang papasok dyan? Yan po yung mga katanungan na dapat sagutin ng PBA. Sapagkat tinagal ng panahon, dapat kahit papano na-market natin po yung mga laro natin yan. Lalong-lalo na't nagbukas ang season ng PBA. Sana po bigyan ng pansin sapagkat kahit papano, yan pong tao sa loob ng venue, wag nyo nang sabihin niya mga maraming nanonood sa online, maraming nanonood sa TV. Wag na po yan. Pero yung pong tao sa loob ng venue ang nakakapagbigay ng gana sa mga player. Tanungin nyo kahit na sinong player, maglaro kayo sa walang tao, talaga naman nung nakakawala ng gana. O wag na natin sabihin nakakawala. Yung pong maraming tao nakakadagdag ng excitement sa mga player. Yan po ay responsibilidad ng PBA at ng mga team owners, ng mga governors. Dahil hindi ho po pwede yung ganong klaseng liga. Nakita nyo na ba ang EuroLeague? Kung gaano karami yung tao nila, opening pa lang, talaga pong, kumbaga yan ay bahagi po ng trabaho ng isang liga na dalhin ang tao sa loob ng venue. May mga nagsasabi, bakit hindi na lang daw laruin lagi sa out of town? Pwede rin ho yan kung yan ang makakabuhay sa liga ng PBA. Pero ang importante po, napakaganda kasi yun ng mga laro. Napakagaling ng mga players natin. Pero atin pong bigyan ng mga manonood. Hindi lang po sa sinatawag ninyong online o TV. Baka nga ho maraming nanonood dyan dahil sa traffic, ang hirap ng pumunta sa venue. But that has been the problem from time immemorial. Ganun ho talaga ang problema. Pero meron naman hong panahon na talagang dinadagsa ng tao ang PBA. Sana ho ay pakinggan tayo kahit papano para naman ho bigyan ng konting paraan ng pagbabago ang ating paboritong liga. Alright, marami po tayong magiging bisita ngayong araw pong ito. Unang-una po, mamaya, volleyball royalty. Sabi ko nga yung pong PVL Second All-Filipino Conference this year ay painit na ng painit. At lumalamang pa rin ang powerhouse at fan favorite na Creamline Cool Smashers. Mamaya po ang ating bisita, volleyball royalty. Si Alyssa Valdez at si Michele Gumabao ang ating po makakasama dito live mamaya po sa ating second hour. Makakasama rin po natin ang replacement import sa PBA pero resident import sa EASL ng TNT Tropang Giga. Si Quincy ang ating po makakapanayam maya-maya. And of course, pag-uusapan po natin ang NBA at some PBA developments with Homer Sayson and Naveen Ganglani sa ating pong second hour. So, marami po tayong pag-uusapan. Baka may sorpresa pa tayong interview mamaya sa isang dating PBA superstar na ngayon ay naglalaro sa MPBL. Abangan nyo po yan mamaya. But of course, simulan na natin ang ating huntahan sa pamamagitan ng ating Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Nagsimula na nga ang PBA Season 48. Balik aksyon na sa hardcourt ang mga paborito nating PBA teams. Pero bago yan, ginawaran muna ang mga natatanging players ng nakaraang taon. Bumida dyan si Junmar Fajardo na nakuha ang kanyang pang-pitong league MVP na pinakamarami sa kasaysayan ng liga. Tinalo ni The Kraken sa award sina Scotty Thompson at Christian Stan Hardinger. Halos kumpleto na ang Final Four naman ng UAAP Season 48 Men's Basketball Tournament. Pasok na sa semis ang UP Fighting Maroons, NU Bulldogs at De La Salle Green Archers. Dikit naman ang naglalaban para sa huling spot na ang Adamson Soaring Falcons at Ateneo Blue Eagles. Sino kaya ang kukumpleto sa Final Four at ano kaya ang magiging final standings dyan sa semifinals? Sa volleyball naman, tinututukan na raw ng Premier Volleyball League at Games and Amusement Board ang issue ng pasweldo sa Turf Floor Defenders. Pumutok kasi ang bali-balitang matagal nang hindi nababayaran ang mga players. Hindi maganda yan. Aminado ang team na apektado sila sa issue lalo't wala pang panalo ang Turf Floor ngayon sa PVL, Second All-Filipino Conference. Sa boxing, may niluluto raw na Pac-May Part 2. May intriga pa ha. Ayon kay boxing legend Manny Pacquiao, nakikipag-usap sila sa kampo ni Floyd Mayweather Jr. para sa posibleng rematch. Nagtapat ang dalawa noong 2015 kung saan nanalo si Floyd Jr. via unanimous decision sa laban na tinaguriang Fight of the Century. At sa football, sasabak na ang Azkals sa FIFA World Cup qualifiers sa parating na Huwebes. Nangunguna sa lineup ng national team si veteran goalkeeper Neil Etheridge. Makakatapat ng Azkals sa home soil ang regional rivals na Vietnam sa November 16 at Indonesia sa November 21. Suportahan po natin ang ating Philippine Azkals dyan sa mga laban na yan. At yan po ang ating mga balita sa sports weekly highlights. Naku nakakaintriga yung mga balitang Pacman Floyd Mayweather. Ewan ko kung gimmick lang yan. At mukhang, ewan ko kung nalampasan na rin ng panahon. Pero ang alam natin, yan ay pag nangyari yan, malaking box office na naman yan. At malaki na naman ang kikitain dyan ng ating mga kampo ng Pacquiao at of course Mayweather. But of course, at the end of the day, it's entertainment para sa ating lahat. And of course, yung ating football po, abangan po natin yan. Dahil marami tayong dapat na suportahan na mga kupunan. Talking about support, well, the Final Four ng UAAP is almost here. Konting laban na lamang po at ang naglalaban hindi lamang doon sa Final Fourth o yung fourth slot ng semifinals, kundi yung top 3 nag-aagawan pa. Pwede pang maging number 1 at 2 at may twice to beat advantage yung UP, NU at La Salle that is surging right now. So ito po ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong umagang ito sa ating Pulso ng Bayan, hatid sa inyo ng M2 Tea Drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel upon energy with M2 Tea Drink. Ito po ang ating Pulso ng Bayan question. Irango nyo po mula number 1 hanggang number 4. Sino sa tingin nyo ang final 4 teams sa UAAP? Ulitin ko po yan ang ating pinupulsuhan ngayong umagang ito. From number 1 to number 4 or yung top 1 to 4, sino po sa tingin nyo ang huling 4 na koponan ng UAAP? Kung gusto nyo pong makilahok, mag-post lamang sa aming Facebook page ng Power and Play o di kaya sa aking Twitter account at Noli Iyala. Alright mga kapatid, tuloy-tuloy po ang pamimigay natin dito ng premyo. Of course, pamimigay ng premyo, Joyride ang lagi nating naiisip. And talking about Joyride, meron pong bagong announcement ang Joyride Super App, Joyride Philippines. Panoorin niyo po ito.
Pwedeng i-book gamit ang Joyride Super App para ma-avail ang bagong next generation kasundo sa daan. Joyride Super Taxi. Parehong patak, kasi taxi pa rin to. Pero mas patok sa panalong new features. Di lang yan, super service pang hatid ng drivers ng Joyride Super Taxi. Kaya level up palalo from the Kasundo brand of service that you're used to. City drives na di mahal at siguradong mamahalin mo? Yahing swabe ang andar at panalo ang sakay. Yan ang Joyride Super Taxi. Super value, super experience.
Yan po mga kapatid, ang bagong produkto ng Joyride Super App, ang Super Taxi. Nasa kali na po yan. Abangan nyo po, mag-book lamang o pwedeng parahin sa kali ang Joyride Super Taxi. Our way of bringing up the level ng ating industriya ng taxi. Again, abangan nyo po yan. And talking about Joyride, of course, tuloy-tuloy po ang ating promo dito, ang pamimigay ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits ng Joyride. Napakadali lang po. Simpleng-simple yung ating top-up promo. I-download lamang nyo po ang latest version ng Joyride Super App. Kasama na dyan ang Super Taxi Kuhanan ng screenshot at ipadala ang screenshot sa Power and Play FB page. Via PM, isama nyo po ang buong pangalan, ang inyong buong pangalan, and of course, registered mobile number. Pipili po kami ng 5 mananalo ng 1,000 pesos JR Pay wallet credits para magamit nyo sa Joyride Delivery, Motorcycle Taxi, Joyride Car, Joyride Taxi Cab, at ngayon, ang Joyride Super Taxi. Yan pong e-wallet credits. Plus, namimigay din pa po ang Joyride ng limited edition Aqua Flask dito sa Power and Play. Napakagandang Aqua Flask. Magagamit nyo po yan. Again, simpleng-simple. Pagkatapos nyo po mag-book ng MC Taxi at ng Joyride Car, kuhanan nyo po ng litrato, creative picture kasama ng driver o rider ninyo at ipadala nyo po sa aming FB page ng Power and Play. Kasama po ang hashtag of the week para po kayo makakuha o magka-chance manalo ng limited edition Joyride Aqua Flask. At ito po ang ating hashtag of the week. Hashtag safe sa Joyride. Ulitin ko po yan Hashtag safe sa Joyride. At next week, amin pong i-anunsyo kung sinong nanalo this week. Pero mamaya, yung pong nanalo last week, amin pong i-anunsyo mamaya. Alright, mga kapatid, nagmamadali tayo dahil ang dami natin pong gustong pag-usapan ngayong umagang ito. And of course, pag pinag-uusapan ay mabilis, syempre, ang una nating saltada, ang fast take.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
At ang fast take, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo, there's more to our cars. At right now, ang ating po mga kasama sa fast take, mga veterano, and of course, mga suki natin sa fast take, walang iba kundi si Joey Villar ng Philippine Star at si Sid Ventura ng ESPN Philippines. Good morning, Joey!
Good morning, ko. Sid.
Good morning, Sid!
Good morning, Com. Good morning, paring Joey. Long time.
Yes.
Mukhang nagkikita na lang kayo pag may mga international competitions.
Huli kami nakita ni Joey sa World Cup.
Sa World Cup, pambihira talaga. Kayo mga journalist talagang all over the world ang mga biyahe-biyahe ninyo kaya nakakatuwa. Let me begin with this. No, of course, Joey, mamaya makakasama namin si Alyssa at saka si Michele Gumabao. Right now, standing or at the top of the PVL ang Creamline Cool Smashers. Wala pang talo, 5-0. Sa tingin mo ba may makakapigil pa dito sa Creamline? At sino ang pinaka-biggest challenger sa tingin mo, Joey, nila?
Actually, ko kumbaga may dalawang nawalang player ang Creamline kahit na unbeaten sila. Parang malakas pa rin pero humina ng konti dahil nga nawala si Sed Domingo, nawala si Gia Morado de Guzman. So basically, marami magagaling ngayon In fact, 8 of the 12 kayang talunin yung Creamline So yung 8 of the 12 na yun pwede mag-champion dun not just Creamline. So we expect an exciting wind-up to the current PBL conference.
Siguro yun ang rason kung bakit din napakaraming tao ng PVL sapagkat very, very unpredictable pa rin ang mga laban. Tama ka, yung 8 out of 12 is about at least or at most 2 games behind the leader. So, hindi masyadong malayo, ika nga. Let me go to some other current topic dito, Sid. Alam natin ang nangyayari or bali-balita ang nangyayari kay Mikey Williams ng TNT kung saan mukhang merong malaking contractual issue between his team at saka si Mikey Williams. Ang tanong, I wanna ask si this, sa tingin mo, saan hahantong ito? Where will this all lead? Mababan ba si Mikey? Do you think this is all just drama at maglalaro muli ito si Mikey?
Mahirap sabihin talaga, Kom eh. I've been reaching out nga to TNT officials, Coach Jolas. Coach Jolas, ang sabi niya, hands off na ako dyan. Tarangin na lang si Chot.
Ganun ba?
Parang ayaw na niyang ano yun eh. Pero si Coach Chot, parang decline mo na mag-comment. Pero maraming maraming pwedeng mangyari dito. Hindi natin alam kung terminating nga ba yung contract. What does that mean? Can another team sign him up right away, or meron bang lalabas na ruling kung willing na you're banned or not following your contractual obligations, kasi may live contract siya
Oo.
with TNT, which by the way was already renegotiated last year.
Correct.
So 2 consecutive years magre-negotiate ka ng contract.
Alam mo,
Yes, you were finals MVP, pero a contract is a contract, di ba?
Alam mo yung mga ganyan, if you look at the very recent experience of one team, ang Philadelphia 76ers, yung pag-alis nila kay James Harden na sakit ng ulo, sometimes subtraction is the better part of addition. And who knows, baka makagaling pa to sa TNT na mawala yung distractions at saka yung sakit ng ulo nila. Let's see, at atin pong tututukan yung drama na nangyayari po sa TNT. Alright, alam na natin ang drill dito sa fast take, mga gentlemen. Walang tama, walang mali, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, huwag magagalit, at ang opinion nyo lamang ang mahalaga. Let's begin with the first fast take issue. 1 minute to answer it. Simple lamang. Kakatapos pa lamang ng halos 1 linggo ng PBA. We've seen about 5 teams or maybe more, no? We've seen about 3 playing days already ng PBA. So, ang tanong, sinong PBA import so far ang naka-impress sa inyo dito sa unang linggo ng season? I'll begin with you, Sid. 1 minute. Go!
Marami, actually, Tyler Bay was really impressive in the first game, the opening for Magnolia, 31 points and 20 rebounds in that very convincing win by the Hotshot. Tapos si Meralco import from Nigeria, Soliman Brimo, mukhang to the beast underneath, 34 points, double-double din siya. Pero ako medyo, anong sagot ko, I was impressed with the way Chris Ortiz blended in immediately with Blackwater. 21 points lang siya, pero I think he had 15 rebounds. Pero kasi tinanggal na siya ni Coach Jeff with 6 minutes left kasi 28 points na yata naman ng Blackwater. So parang I watched that game live sa Phil Sports, and I really like the way that he passed the ball and made a lot of his teammates better. August pa lang nandito na siya Player yan dati ng Puerto Rico. World Cup. So sinign up na siya after the World Cup. So he's been here since September practicing with the team. And it really showed. I think it's a really good fit for Blackwater. Pero individually, yung sila Brimo and Tyler Bay and yung si Venka Joyce of Northport.
Yes, magaling din yun yung kahapon.
Really good. Naka 43 points.
Maganda yung sinabi mo, fit. That's always a word that comes around pag mga ganitong evaluation. Joey, same issue. Sinong PBA import ang naka-impress sa'yo sa unang linggo ng PBA? 1 minute, Joey. Go.
Initially, isa sa mga na-impress ako kay Tyler Bay kasi alam mo naman ng Pinoy, gusto yung flashy, gusto yung on the first impression, ganda, ganun ang gusto ng Pinoy. Although tama si Sid na si Chris Ortiz yung pinaka maganda yung overall impact dahil nga hindi lang siya scoring, hindi lang defending, meron namamasa, tapos dumidepensa. In fact, he has 3 steals and 2 blocks. So kumbaga yun nga and the correct word is he looked to fit really well with his team. Kaya yun ang kumbaga to win a championship kailangan mo ng ganong import. Pero kung pag-usapan natin yung kung impressive ba, for me, si Tyler Bay dahil kumbaga yun ang gusto ng Pinoy eh.
Oo. Well, I totally agree. Ako, I like Tyler Bay. Una ko nakita siya talaga, wow. Parang may pagka-Calvin Abueva pa ang dating eh. Talagang makulit, very energetic, and again, it seems like he will fit also with that team ng Magnolia at maraming papahirapan yan. But of course, marami pa tayong inaabangan na mga imports na magagaling, and obviously, marami pang pwedeng mangyari dyan. Alright, let's go to our second topic of the morning. Ito naman ay patungkol sa NBA, kung saan, nagkakaroon na ng announcement, paghahanda ang NBA para sa kanilang All-Star Weekend this year. Nagaganapin yata sa Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. So, ito ang ngayon, alam naman natin, the past few years, ang NBA All-Star Game has been about yung LeBron James versus Giannis format, kung saan namimili sila ng mga players regardless of which conference sila nanggagaling. Pero ngayon, nag-announce na si Commissioner Adam Silver na maaaring palitan na nila ang format. So ito ang tanong. Ano ang mas gusto nyong format ng NBA All-Star Game? East versus West, yung dating format, o itong pinaplano nilang Ryder Cup system na USA versus the world? I'll begin with you, Joey. 1 minute. Go!
Yeah. As much as I like yung world versus USA, parang it couldn't hang eh. Kasi yung, kumbaga, kahit sabihin natin na yung top 5 of the NBA right now are mostly Europeans or non-Americans like Giannis, Embiid, Luka, Jokic. Kumbaga, even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Imagine mo 5 in the top 10 na the world. Pero ang problema kasi nung world versus East and West, ang problema nun, hindi ganun kalalim kumpara dun sa American. So parang lalabas yan para lang mabuo yung world, kukuha ka ng mga non-deserving na all-star. Ang all-star, pag naging all-star ka, pwede mong gawin sa contract negotiations yan eh.
Correct.
Kawawa naman yung ibang deserving regardless if American sila or not. So yan lagi dapat deserving lang. Kaya East and West pa rin tingin ko.
Very good point. Very good point, Joe. Yung talagang pagdating sa All-Star Game, malaking bagay yan sa contract negotiation. Kaya tinitutukan pa rin yung pagka-All-Star ng isang player. Sid, same question. Ano mas gusto mong format? Regardless of the implications siguro, no? Kasi nagbigay si Joey ng very good points on that. But regardless of the implication, ano mas gusto mong format ng All-Star Game? East versus West o US versus the world? 1 minute, Sid. Go!
Na-intriga ako sa US versus the world eh. Siguro subukan nila kahit one season. No? Kasi parang, imagine a lineup of, a front line of Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Victor Wembanyama.
Wow!
Diba? Sa All-Star Game. Diba? Tapos ang backcourt mo, Luka, and say, Gilgeous-Alexander. Diba? So parang medyo mabigat yun. Pero yung front line, talagang I want to see kung paano tatapatan ng US yun. Kasi right now, di ba, ang knock nga on Team America, USA, medyo may narawang front line, wala na rin natural centers, na lang. So, paano nila tatapatan yung very talented and stratospheric front line na yun? If only for that, that storyline, gusto kong makita yung USA versus USA.
Well, I also agree with that. Alam mo, when you talk about the purity of the intention, parang maganda rin makita yung ganong klaseng kombinasyon. Nakita naman natin how successful the Ryder Cup has been in terms of creating rivalries. On the other hand, I agree with Joey na yung East and West, talagang yan makikita mo kung sino yung pinakamagaling and talagang deserving of being called an all-star. Sa akin, regardless, sana yung USA versus the world, laruin nila sa Europe para meron ding flavor na, 'di ba, na home court ng Europe or ng the world. But sa akin, ang dapat wag mawala is the part where they donate to charity na ginawa nila in the last few years. I think that has been really, really nice. Nakita natin na merong kabuluhan yung ginagawang All-Star Game kahit na wala namang nagbibigay ng meaning sa mga larong yan. Alright, let's go to our final issue of the morning. Well, final take of the morning. As we said, ang PVL ay halos halfway through their preliminaries. And right now, talagang mainit ang labanan. So halfway through the preliminaries, Joey, sino ang MVP para sa iyo ng PVL Second All-Filipino Conference? 1 minute, Joey. Go!
This conference kasi, sabi ko nga, di ba, 8 of the 12 are, hindi pa nga sigurado even Creamline na makapasok sa Final Four. And to select an MVP sa PBL, kailangan mo mag-semis. So, kahit na ang ganda nilalaro ni Eya Laure, ni Ces Molina, ni Ivy Lacsina, ni Cici Rondina specifically, kung hindi sila papasok sa semis, hindi sila magiging MVP. So, ang pinipili kong MVP na with the assumption kung papasok sila, number 1, si Cici Rondina. Kasi nabawasan sila, nawala si Descheng. So, if Chocomucho makes it to the semis, sigurado MVP si Cici. Kung hindi pumasok ang Cherry Tigo, Eya Laure, baka mag-MVP. And of course, Ces Molina, if Signal also advances. Sa Creamline kasi, sa sobrang daming malalakas, kahit maganda nilalaro ni Gumabao, it could change. Baka humabol si Tots Carlos, si Gemma Galanza. So, ganun kalalim yung Creamline. So, it's a wide open race, pero si Rondina.
Wow, that's a new name. And of course, alam naman natin kung gaano kagaling talaga si Cici Rondina. But again, alam mo si Joey, talaga nakatutok yan eh. Kaya maganda yung nakikita niyang positioning dito ng mga teams. Same question, Sid. Alam ko, hindi ka masyadong tumututok sa volleyball. Hindi mo yan beat. But I know that you're also a big fan of volleyball. So halfway through the preliminaries, sino sa tingin mo ang MVP kung magbotohan ngayon ng PBL Conference? 1 minute, Sid. Go!
Yun nga, the keyword there is halfway through, hypothetical yung question. If the tournament stopped today, who would be the MVP? So, tingin ko, it would be the best player from the best team. No? Right now, Creamline na nga lang yung undefeated. They're 5-0. And I'd have to give it to Michele Gumabao kasi parang siya na yung focal point ng attack ng Creamline ngayon. Nag-double digits siya in almost all of the games of Creamline. Parang kakaiba na yung approach nila. Hindi na si Alyssa yung focal point. So, ayun, if you're basing it on that, pero maganda rin mga sinabi ni Joey, si Rondina and Eya Laure are also Giga. Pero, if we're talking about now, right now, halfway through, then I think Michele Gumabao has been the best player.
Well, alam mo, yan ang mga pangalang aabangan talaga. And that's also why it is so exciting to watch volleyball. Ces Molina, I like the way she plays, obviously. And she has a history of being a winner. Of course, alam natin si Tots, alam natin si Gemma Galanza. So many good players in every team. That's what a league, what the PVL is about. And kaya naman dinadagsa talaga ng tao. Joey and Sid, maraming salamat this morning for joining us again. Enjoy 11-11. Huwag niyong ubusin ang mga bonus ninyo. Maraming salamat.
Naka-order na akong.
Salamat. Mga kaibigan, Joey Villar ng Philippine Star at si Sid Ventura ng ESPN Philippines. Again, very, very entertaining and informative lagi pagkasama natin ang ating mga kaibigan sa sports industry. Alright, before we take a break, isa muna pong paalala mula sa ating mga supporters at kaibigan sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live more today! Sa ating pong pagbabalik, baka kasama natin the resident import ng TNT sa EASL, Quincy Miller will be in the house in just a short while. Ito po ang Power and Play hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 8:35 ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by M2 Tea Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay with M2 Tea Drinks.
I dare to dream big, to be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours with Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry. Masarap. Malinis. Friendliest store crew. At higit sa lahat, healthy. Ang bawat manok ay laki sa alaga, hindi sa gamot. Garantisado, zero antibiotics. And that's the Chooks experience. Kaya mag-Chooks to stay na. Dito lang sa Chooks.
Totoo sa paghahatid ng balita, impormasyon, serbisyo. Totoo sa'yo. 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Totoong abot na abot ang True FM saan man panig ng Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Basta may Pilipino. Sundan at ilike ang Radyo 5 True FM sa Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at sa X o Twitter. Dito na tayo sa totoo. True FM. Tunay na kapatid. Maaasahan sa radyo at online.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Na-miss mo ba ang game kagabi? Gusto mo bang malaman ang latest happening sa sports? Like and follow us on social media. Pwede mo nang balik-balikan ang mga paborito mong games anytime, kahit saan. At pwede mo nang i-share sa tropa. Dito lang tayo sa nag-iisang go-to tambayan ng lahat at One Sports PHL on social media.
Broadcasting from the Radyo 5 studios in Reliance Street, Mandaluyong City, in Mega Manila. 25,000 watts of true broadcast quality. Mas pinalakas, mas pinalawak, mas pinalinaw na tunog ng AM sa FM. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Alright, for all those na nakatutok po sa NBA in-season tournament, 9 games on tap today. Very interesting games. Particularly yung laban po mamaya ng Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Lakers. And of course, yung pong Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. These are very, very good games. But of course, the in-season tournament is a tournament within a tournament. And it's going to be quick. Itong buong November with the finals scheduled on December 7 and 9. Yung semifinals and finals in Las Vegas. And talking about a guy who knows about the NBA, who has played in the NBA, and of course now plying his trade here in the Philippines and of course all over Asia. And we're very happy to have with us today for the very first time the import of TNT Tropang Giga, Quincy Miller. Good morning, Quincy.
Good morning, man. How everybody doing? How you doing, man?
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Well, first of all, how is your return trip back to Manila? I mean, how good is it to be back in Manila after your first stint here?
Oh, it's a blessing, man. And you know, I love Manila so much, man. Just the people, the environment, and just being with a great team like TNT. It's just a great another fresh start for me.
Any particular thing that you were not able to do or you missed on your first tour of duty here that you really wanted to do and see or to be with when you came back?
I never been to I think it's called Bungus or one of the islands. I never been to
Boracay.
Yeah, Boracay. Yeah, I never been to Boracay, so I kind of want to go to Boracay. And a few other islands that I want to visit since I never went last year.
All right. So you have some time. Of course, you know the EASL continues. You played a little bit for TNT. Let me ask you about that, Quincy. The EASL, of course, it is a unique format. What do you think of the concept of the East Asia Super League?
I think it's an awesome concept, man. Just to play in Asia and play against different countries, man, and show what the Philippines all about. I think it's an interesting concept, and I think that over time it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So I think that it's very cool and it's very different.
Well, so far TNT has not been able to pick up a win. A little bit of a struggle there against, I guess, teams that we are unfamiliar with. What do you think has been the reason for the struggles of TNT in the EASL?
For us, recently this year, we just had a lot of losses as far as injuries go. Just random stuff happening. I haven't played with Round DSF for one game. Him coming off a great season in the FIBA games. But I think we're getting better every game. We're continuing to build. So I think eventually we're going to get us one.
Within the team itself, are the games in the EASL something that has caught the attention and where the players in TNT are really giving it a lot of priority? Is this something that you can see in the atmosphere in the locker room?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we just focus, whether it's PBA or the EASL, we just focus every game, honestly. Even if we lose, here and there, we're still building ourselves, getting better every game, and just trying to take one game at a time.
You've been around all over the world. You've played in Europe. You've played in, of course, in Asia, in Taiwan. How does the action or the game of the PBA compare that makes it, I guess, competitive in a league like the EASL?
Honestly, for me, I like the PBA the most because it's very competitive. It's very physical. You're gonna play 48 minutes. It's a longer game. It's just more compared to the NBA style than anywhere I've been, honestly. So it's just cool to be in the PBA, man, honestly.
You are playing with Rondae Hollis Jefferson, and you also replaced him for a while with TNT when you started the campaign in the PBA. How is your relationship with RHJ so far?
That's my guy, man. I played with Rondae actually in Brooklyn. He was one of my teammates for the Brooklyn Nets. And I know him from before then even. So it's just been cool reconnecting with him and seeing him again. We always had a relationship, and I think we always going to continue to have a relationship until after basketball.
So this arrangement that you've had, for instance, taking his place for a while, even if it was very brief and temporary, is cool with you, and that's not an issue between you and RHJ.
No, that's like that's one of my good friends, man. So whether I play or he plays, always gonna be 100% support.
Absolutely. It has been short-lived, of course. RSJ is supposed to return with TNT in the PBA. So let me ask you, what do you like about the PBA in terms of the competition itself in the PBA tournament?
Like I said, every game is important, so because it's not 30 games, 40 games. So every game is very important. Every game, every possession counts. Not only that, you just got a lot of great Filipino players that I enjoy watching. The game was a little bit longer. Like I said, it's more compared to the NBA game. And it's a fun competition as far as basketball goes.
Were you surprised that Converge almost did not release you to TNT?
Yeah, I was surprised, because it was a year ago and I wasn't planning on ever going back to Converge. So I was just surprised as far as why they wasn't releasing me. But eventually they did the day before the game, which we was all happy about since we didn't have to make any other changes for our team. So it was cool.
What do you miss from your games here in the PBA and of course your teammates who became close to you, Quincy, during your stay here?
Recently or last year?
Last year.
Well, all the Philims like Tyler, Taylor, David, Maverick is one of my really good friends. Jerron Tang is one of my really good friends still to this day. K-Rax, still one of my good friends. Justin, still one of my good friends. We talk all the time. So I got really close to those guys last year and built like a relationship that I feel like is going to last for a lifetime.
What would you be open now that obviously RHJ is coming in and you're again going to be, I guess, free at a certain point? Would you be open to be playing in the PBA once more?
Absolutely. I want to come back to the PBA as much as I can. I love it here.
What are the plans beyond the EASL then? What are your plans? Are you looking at another league after?
Maybe Japan or China. I love both those leagues. It's not similar to the PBA, but they expect a lot of their imports. So maybe Japan or China, but if not there, I'll just be chilling until I come back to the PBA again.
Absolutely, and when you talk about chilling, you gotta stay chilling in our islands because that's the best place to chill.
Yeah.
All right, I know you are an NBA veteran. You were drafted by Denver. And you played meaningful games, and you did very well in the NBA. Is a return to the NBA still in the horizon for Quincy Miller?
It could be, man. I'm waiting on a phone call, if anything can happen. So I'm just staying ready, like playing overseas, and it's a little bit different, So you always going to be in shape, and I'm always ready.
When you look at the NBA during your time back in 2012 to about 2015 when you were, really playing a lot of games there, and today, how much has it changed, Quincy?
Man, it's a dramatic change. When I was playing, I feel like it was more position-based basketball. Like you had to be a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But now it's just honestly they like guys who are versatile, so it's more fitting my style. And it's just a little different style of play. You know what I'm saying? From when I was playing until now. So I fit more now than I did before.
So you think you'd fit better now? It's just like RHJ. I mean, when Ronde was playing there, obviously he was ahead of his time. He wanted the ball. He was taking those shots. He's taking those shots now. He's more active. The same style that you bring right now to the PBA. So you think you're more fit now with the NBA style?
Absolutely. I really feel like I'm way more fit now than I was before.
All right. Well, you grew up. You were born in Chicago. That's right. Yeah, you were born in Chicago, based on what I read, and you transferred to North Carolina. And of course, both places are synonymous to one name in basketball, Michael Jordan.
Right.
Were you a fan?
Always. Michael Jordan is my favorite basketball player of all time. I think he's the best basketball player ever.
How big of an influence was MJ to you?
Well, growing up, I only had when I was living with my uncle when I first moved to North Carolina. I only had 2 DVDs, and they were both Michael Jordan documentaries. I used to watch it over and over again, so he's just an influential person. I just think he's, like I said, the best basketball player of all time.
Well, you also were drafted by Denver as the 38th pick back in 2012. So obviously you had spent a lot of time as well in Mile High City in Denver. You played with guys like Wilson Chandler and T. Lawson and Randy Foyer and all of these Denver legends. Now Denver is a world champ with, of course, Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world, leading the charge. Your reactions to the championship first of Denver?
I know I was just happy, man, because Denver. I don't think Denver ever won a championship, so it was just cool to see, man. And then I know a lot of people who live in Denver, and I'm, like you said, they drafted me, so I feel some type of connection to the city of Denver. So I know the city of Denver was just so excited to have that first championship. And to see it go down the way it did it was exciting. You know what I'm saying? I was just really tuned into that. So I'm happy and proud for the Nuggets.
I'm pretty intrigued, and many are as well. They say that it's difficult to play in Denver as a visitor.
Yeah.
How so?
Because the elevation, you get tired more quick. You got a loss of breath more quick. When you play there and you practice there so much, you get used to it. I didn't really know the difference from playing there until I came back and tried to play there. It's really hectic. It's a different style, and then especially the way Denver plays so fast. When they go to other teams and play against other teams, other cities, it's way easier because the elevation is way lower.
And is it a part of the strategy of the Denver coaching staff to use that elevation to your advantage when you train?
I don't know if it was then. I don't know if it was now, but it was then for sure.
Well, that's a pretty unique way of trying to intimidate opponents going to Denver. With the way they've played and the way they have started this particular season, do you think Denver has the capacity to become a dynasty, Quincy?
I mean, absolutely, especially with Nikola Jokic. He's one of the top 3 best NBA players right now. And that's not a opinion. That's a fact, just statistically. So I think that right now, I honestly think they could go back to back.
Well, it is. Obviously, a lot of people are still putting their bets on Denver with an 8-1 start, and it should be a very interesting season. Let's talk a little bit more about your career with the NBA. One of your best games, and in fact, I think one of the times when you really scored well was when you had a game against Kevin Durant, who you played in an earlier game during your career, and of course during his career as well. When you talk about players that you've guarded, Kevin, I know that you've hosted as well Julius Randle when he was up to Baylor. You've seen all of these guys come up. You've played against some of the best players in the NBA. Who was the toughest guy to guard, Quincy, for you?
Definitely Kevin Durant, because he's going to be scoring. You got to be aware at all times because he's coming off down screens, pin downs. He's just aggressive at all times. I played against Kawhi. Kawhi is Kawhi, so you got to be ready for that. But I played against him at San Antonio. He wasn't the same Kawhi. I played against PG at Indiana, who's a monster. Everybody know the PG from Indiana. I played against LeBron, of course. Just a lot of guys. Yeah, like I said, like you said, I hosted Julius Randle on his visit to Baylor. So just to see him come up and do as well as he doing, it's like a cool thing to see. Like this is a young guy who now just killing in the NBA. Like last game, I think he had 25 points. Even though it wasn't the best shooting, he's still being really, really effective with the Knicks.
Well, the NBA has seen a lot of innovations. The game has changed so much, of course, not only because of what the NBA is trying to do, but also because of the way the players have developed. We know how the game has changed because of that, with guys like Embiid and, of course, Steph Curry and all of these young players. Now Victor Wembanyama may just change this entire landscape once again. And talking about changing it, the in-season tournament is another innovation that the NBA is introducing. What do you think about this concept?
I don't know. I'm new to it, and I really don't. I'm not too familiar with everything that's going on, but I don't know if I like the in-season tournament. Maybe at the end of the season before the championship, but the in-season tournament is a little bit different. But I do like the courts that they incorporate. That's pretty cool. Yeah. But I don't know if I'm too fond of the in-season tournament.
Well, the courts have been really, really cool, and of course the colors.
Yeah.
The way they've packaged the in-season tournament has just been amazing. All right. Well, I want to go back a little bit about the PBA. When you talk about guys that you've played here, played against with, and played with, who really strikes you as maybe a guy who's ready to become an international player, an NBA player, in fact?
An NBA player from the PBA or?
Yeah.
Honestly, a guy that sticks out to me that I'm playing with right now is Calvin. Calvin, I know he played on the national team. He's just, not only is he just a special player, he always has a positive attitude, man. He's always a good guy, and it's contagious, And like I said, he's always ready to play. Every day he comes in and work hard and score the ball. I really like, one guy that sticks out to me as well is Kai Solo. I think that if he just becomes a little bit more aggressive, he could definitely be in the NBA.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, those two guys that stick out to me that could definitely be NBA players.
When you talk about Kai Soto, of course, our youngster, what do you think is lacking with him yet at this time?
Right now, for me, it's just experience. And just being more aggressive. I think that if he was more aggressive and tried to do more, he would do more. But other than that, I don't see no issues with him that much. All
right. Well, you've seen how the Philippines. You've seen our leagues here, our players here. You've been to Taiwan. You've seen the games in Japan as well as in China and Korea, and the Philippines just recently won the Asian Games. Based on your own experience, based on the way you assess our game, do you think the Philippines can continue to dominate in Asia?
Absolutely. I got full faith in the Philippines.
Would you consider playing for the national team?
Absolutely. I would love to play for the national team at any time. If they ever want me, I'm definitely ready to play.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to more games from you. What can we expect from Quincy Miller in the EASL?
Just to continue. I think I've been playing pretty well, percentage-wise. Maybe not shooting the three ball as well, but just percentage-wise, I think I've been playing well. And I just want to get some wins, man. The Philippines deserve it. I think my team deserves it. So that's what I'm just focused on at the moment.
When is your next game? Next Wednesday?
Yeah, on the 15th.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to that, and we certainly wish you all the best. We hope that you can play once again in the PBA, but if not, we will be looking and watching your games in the EASL. Thanks so much for joining us today, Quincy, and all the best, and enjoy the islands.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mga kaibigan, ang import po ng TNT Tropang Giga for the EASL and of course for the PBA, Quincy Miller. An NBA veteran who's been around, one of the top guys when he was in college, and obviously a lot of knowledge having played in the NBA. Looking at the Philippines as maybe an opportunity, and of course knowing how we can dominate in Asia. Sana nga ay magdilang anghel si Quincy Miller. Alright, before we take a break, sumilip muna tayo mga kapatid sa ating po mga viral videos and pop culture sa online sa mundo ng palakasan sa Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Ang title ng video natin ngayong umaga pong ito ay Good Boy. Aba, hindi po to tao na boy. Panoorin niyo po itong ating video na to. Nakakatuwang beach volleyball ito dahil aso ang isang naglalaro. Aba, hindi lang siya basta-basta. Precise sa mga set niya. Kita nyo naman yan kita mo ng mga pasang yan. At hindi nalalaglagan ng bola. Sa huli, siya pa ang nakapuntos. Panoorin nyo to. Ayun, Aba, talagang good boy. Si Good Boy. At yan din po ang ating Good Stop and Pop. When we come back in our second hour, ang makakausap po natin, volleyball royalty, Alyssa Valdez and Michele Gumabao. Plus, hihimayin po natin ang NBA at PBA developments with Naveen Ganglani and Homer Sayson. Ito po ang Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 9 o'clock ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by M2 Tea Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay with M2 Tea Drinks.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day. Plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry.
Masarap. Malinis. Friendly store crew. At higit sa lahat, healthy. Ang bawat manok ay laki sa alaga, hindi sa gamot. Garantisado, zero antibiotics. And that's the Chooks experience. Kaya mag-Chooks to stay na. Dito lang sa Chooks.
Pinarangalan ng PMAP bilang Radio Station of the Year, Radyo 5, True FM.
Dito tayo sa totoo.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Na-miss mo ba ang game kagabi? Gusto mo bang malaman ang latest happening sa sports? Like and follow us on social media. Pwede mo nang balik-balikan ang mga paborito mong games anytime, kahit saan. At pwede mo nang i-share sa tropa. Dito lang tayo sa nag-iisang go-to tambayan ng lahat at One Sports PHL on social media.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Totoong abot na abot ang True FM saan man panig ng Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Basta may Pilipino. Sundan at ilike ang Radyo 5 True FM sa Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at sa X o Twitter. Dito na tayo sa totoo. True FM. Tunay na kapatid. Maaasahan sa radyo at online.
25,000 watts ng totoong tunog ng FM radio.
Totoong pinalakas, totoong pinagtibay ng mga batikang mamamahayag sa paghahatid ng news,
Public service,
entertainment,
music,
information at inspiration para sa bawat kapatid, bawat Pilipino. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Muli po nagbabalik ang Power and Play at binabati po natin lahat ng ating mga kaibigan dyan po sa bandang Cavite, ha, yung pong mga nakasama natin sa Cavite, sa 13 Martires, and of course dyan po sa mga suki po natin sa Dasmariñas, Cavite. We'd also like to greet, of course, gusto kong magpasalamat ulit kay paring Elmer Ngo sa pag-sponsor niya sa atin kahapon, ha, sa Chairman's Cup ng Forest Hills. Ha. Sama po natin, of course, dyan si partner Jera, Sayson, at si Butch Lustado ng RCBC. Ha. Thank you so much for joining us. Plus si partner at idol Alex Santos. Siya nga pala, ha, doon sa mga nanonood po ng gustong malaman, laki ng lamang ng Detroit kontra Philadelphia so far sa in-season tournament. Before we continue, gusto ko po magpasalamat sa lahat ng mga tagapagtaguyod, sponsors ng Power and Play. Gusto ko po magpasalamat sa Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon, mga kapatid. Sobrang init tapos biglang uulan, dapat ay kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum.
Thank you!
Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid. Elevate your driving experience with the all-new Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid, where sustainability meets functionality. Get ready to embark on a journey of fuel efficiency and power like never before. Imagine cruising down the road with the impressive 1.5 turbocharged engine paired with a cutting-edge 48-volt hybrid system. This dynamic duo not only delivers exhilarating performance, but also slashes fuel consumption effectively, making each mile a step towards a greener planet. The all-new Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid is also equipped with a 10.25-inch capacitive touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, full LED headlights, and double row daytime running lights for improved road visibility, auto trunk release, 6 supplemental restraint system airbags, and a quiet cabin for more peaceful Cherry drives. To learn more about the all-new Cherry Tigo 5X Pro Hybrid, visit Cherry Auto Philippines' website at www.cherryauto.ph or visit your nearest Cherry dealership.
Thank you!
Chooks to Go ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Subukan ang kanilang pinakabagong oven-roasted chicken na mas pinasarap dahil sa nagumapaw na flavorful chicken juice. Subukan ang kanilang mga variants, harissa roast, sweet roast at pepper roast. Try also Chooks, the first dine-in restaurant ng Chooks to Go. Chooks to stay with Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Thank you!
True religion is in the Philippines, where passion meets power. Experience it firsthand. For your best style choices, visit True Religion at Conrad S. Maison Mall of Asia Complex, Resorts World Manila, and Hacienda Designer Outlet, Silang, Cavite. Visit their newest branch at Grand Wing, Newport City, Resorts World Manila. True Religion, where passion meets power.
Thank you!
Joyride Super Taxi. Super excited na kaming i-launch ang pinakabagong super serbisyo ng Joyride Super App. Ito ang aming Joyride Super Taxi. Maganda at bagong sasakyan. Super luwag pa ng trunk space para sa inyong kagamitan. Full-time at profesional na mga drivers. Pwedeng parahin at pwede ring i-book sa app. At higit sa lahat, walang dagdag presyo at dimetrong pamasahe. Isa na namang handog ng Joyride Super App para sa mga super sipag na mananakay na Pilipino. Super serbisyo na ng dimetrong kasundo. Yan ang taxi. Yan ang Joyride Super Taxi.
Thank you!
Elms Seafood Paluto. The latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2, Ground Floor, Calle Bisrog, Ever Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed casual dining atmosphere for your salo-salo seafood meal. Elms Seafood Paluto. Skin, your face and body anti-aging center with branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hills, San Juan. For your skin assessment and treatment, please call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886.
Thank you!
Asea Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. Asea Subic Beach Resort.
Thank you!
M2T Drinks with Malunggay, Okra, and Luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2T Drink with Malunggay, Okra, and Luya, your natural source of electrolytes.
Thank you!
And Smart, live more today.
Thank you!
Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Alright, at this point, it's time for us to delve into some of the latest developments. Hindi lamang po sa PBA, kung hindi lalong-lalo na sa NBA. And we're very happy to have with us once again mga columnists at mga talagang nakatutok sa basketball. Naveen Ganglani and Homer Sayson. Morning, Naveen. Thanks for joining us again.
Morning,
Homer.
sir. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be here. Hello to Homer as well. Hello to the whole team. Excited to get this started.
Yes, sir. Well, let's talk about starting here. And I want to go first sa ilang issue na sinulat mo, Homer. Particularly on the Mikey Williams situation. What is the latest dito sa sitwasyon ni Mikey Williams, Homer?
Well, first of all, the sticking point was money, and Mikey Williams asked for 2.4 million pesos a month, which is in today's dollar rate is $42,800 a month. TNT was already paying him somewhere in the neighborhood of $26,000. Yun ang sabi ng agent na nag-negotiate ng contract niya before it was renegotiated again this year. So I think, obviously it's way over the salary cap. But the problem is, may nakausap akong official sa TNT, the breaking point really was the inability of Mikey Williams to communicate. Para bang the disrespect is so palpable na medyo, kapag, to borrow the words of Fernando po, kapag puno na ang salok. So they just got tired of it. He's not communicating with him, Commissioner. He left for the United States in the aftermath of that championship in April. They've been trying to communicate with him through email, to text messaging, but so far no success. Even dyan, may dalawa siyang representatives dyan who have his ears and confidence. I also texted them and they said it's Christmas silent night from Mikey Williams. So,
what do you think, Homer? San mahantong ito? You think a trade is in the offing?
No, because TNT, first of all, they do not want to, they don't want an asset to bite them in the behind kung i-trade nila. And what the TNT told me was they want to make it implicitly clear that they will hold on to the rights of Mikey Williams.
Wow.
Meaning to say, his options would be limited. He cannot play in Japan, Taiwan. He cannot play everywhere that is FIBA sanctioned. And well, he can go to the NBA and then not come back to the PBA anymore, but still,
that's a little bit hard.
Mahirap it's gonna be hard. He almost made the roster of the Toronto Raptors in 2018 kasi kaibigan ni very good friends ni Mikey si DeMar DeRozan, who was a star at the Toronto Raptors. In fact, some of Williams' people had asked me like, "Hey, next time you go to a Bulls game, can you push Mikey to us through DeMar DeRozan?" And I say, well, I don't know if I have that pull. But anyway, so it's a sad development, Commissioner, because Mikey is a very good talent. Kita mo nga ng PBA, parang, it needs crowds. And Mikey was a star. He brought people in. Now, San Miguel's gonna dominate the league even more because TNT is so weakened and, wala na silang star, especially with Roger Pugoy not seeing action this conference. So,
all right.
It's sad for basketball.
It is a sad development and obviously maraming umaasa na kahit paano muling makabalik si Mikey Williams at ma-resolve itong problem na to. But, Naveen, let me ask you because kanina nabanggit ko ito dun sa Fast Take. If we look at recent history, which is the Philadelphia 76ers story with James Harden, wherein, for a long time, andun yung distraction of James Harden. You don't know whether he was gonna play, And finally, they traded him and the Sixers have won 6 in a row. They're on top of the East. Do you think itong kaso ni Mikey Williams is, the TNT can learn something about the experience of Philadelphia and do an addition via subtraction here, Naveen?
Well, at face value, it makes sense, diba? Like if you have an asset that's, forget for a second all the out of the court stuff that you're dealing with. If you're just talking about basketball ability and you're talking about the asset of that basketball ability, then it makes sense that you get something in return for it to strengthen your team. Because like Homer said, we don't know really when our boy is going to come back yet. He's an important part of the team, and right now he's not there. And if you're talking about talented players on your squad, then Mikey obviously is the best for TNT, but he doesn't want to play. So can you get something out of that asset? Maybe re-strengthen your team, add some firepower to give you a chance against the powerhouse squads like Ginebra, against San Miguel. Yes, it does make sense. But again, it also, the bigger question to me is, does Mikey Williams still want to play in the PBA? Because he's a champion with TNT. Sure, he's probably not getting the money that he wants. The lack of communication is also something worth considering. Now, that's not to say he would do the same with every team that he's going to play with. But even if you are another team in the PBA and you try trading for Mikey's rights, you have to pause for a second and ask yourself, the headaches that TNT is going through, are we sure that we're not going to go through those ourselves?
All right. Well, that's a perfect point. And, talking about a subtraction for TNT, there is, on the other hand of the spectrum, Homer, the addition of a guy who dapat wala na dito, Robert Bolick, who has come back to the Philippines and because of personal reasons, because of his wife. Ano ang naman latest sa situation ni Robert Bolick? Is he going to return sa Northport this season, Homer?
Two things. An agent a Japan-based agent told me Robert Bolick keeps text messaging him looking for a new contract. And he told me last night, I'm ignoring every single bit of text messaging from Robert Bolick because that was the second time pala na Robert Bolick walked out of a contract. And the third time is not definitely going to be the charm. So in terms of the PBA, sabi nga ni Coach Bonitan kagabi, they're still talking. The agent of Robert Bolick, who's the Filipino agent, agent niya sa PBA, also, agent din niya internationally, but Bolick also seeks out to other agents. But Marvin Espirito is here in Los Angeles. And so far, walang movement. There's no money offering yet. They're not talking money. And given Northport's not the MVP group, and then it's not San Miguel officially. And I don't think they would have the financial wherewithal because Robert Bolick walked away from a lot of money in Japan. So it would take a lot of money to entice him to sign at Northport. So that is probably the reason why the talks are not moving right now, Commissioner.
Alam mo, another player, Naveen, that's, obviously, Bolick is in limbo. Another guy who was unnecessarily placed in limbo is a UAAP player in Jerome Lastimosa, who obviously is going to miss the entire, playoffs now if they should make it. Naveen, your take on Jerome and Adamson, which is still fighting for a slot in the Final Four. How impactful is that loss? And do you think Adamson has a chance to still make it to the Final Four?
Well, it goes without saying that the loss of someone like Jerome Lastimosa is massive because aside from the fact that Jerome can score, which is his best trait, he can provide other contributions in the basketball court as well. He can lead the team, he can create for others, he can lead you in transition, he can penetrate the defense when the offense breaks down. Jerome Lastimosa will forever be a UAAP basketball legend even if he didn't achieve a lot of Final Four success just because of what he means to that program. And if anyone has any doubts, well, Jerome's jersey is retired by Adamson. So that shows how important he is to that basketball program. And we wish Jerome the best. We wish him a healthy recovery. And after he recovers from this ordeal, hopefully he can get an opportunity to play abroad or make it to the PBA because Philippine basketball is better when Jerome Lastimosa is healthy. Now, talking about Adamson, they 100% have a chance to make the Final Four. And the fact that they're in the race for the Final Four is something to celebrate, something to be happy about for the Adamson program, and also a testament to the abilities of college coaching by Nash Rosella. Now, Adamson right now, they're 5-6. They are tied with Ateneo for the last Final Four spot. It is worth noting a few things. One, Adamson and Ateneo are scheduled to face each other tomorrow.
That's right.
Sunday, at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Another thing worth noting, Sir Nolly, if there is a tie between two teams for the number 4 seed in the UAAP Final Four race, it will not be determined by quotient. A tie for number 4 is determined by a playoff.
Wow.
Adamson has already faced UP. They have already faced LaSalle in their second round schedule. Probably the two hottest teams in the UAAP right now. Ateneo has a matchup coming up still with LaSalle at the end of the second round. So if Adamson beats Ateneo tomorrow, and then Ateneo faces a LaSalle team that's motivated to win because LaSalle is also chasing a twice-to-beat advantage, that could turn out well for Adamson. But Ateneo is not going to be easy to deal with. My personal prediction, both teams are going to be tied by the end of the elimination round, and we are going to have a playoff for the Final Four.
Well, even with that, talagang malaking achievement na yan para kay Coach Nash Rosella, just to bring Adamson to the brink of the Final Four. And of course, without his star player. And again, that's the beauty of the parity in the UAAP. And Homer, talking about the parity, I've said this many, many times about the disparity in the professional league. And one sign of this, and again, it's not a knock sa mga teams na to or mga players na to, but it's the Mythical 5 selection. No? The Mythical 5 ng PBA consists of 5 players coming from 2 teams, San Miguel and Ginebra, with Junmar, CJ, Scotty Thompson, of course, Malonzo, and Stan Hardinger. What does this, anong ibig sabihin nito, Homer? And is this good for the PBA?
Let me add a tidbit on Jerome Lastimosa. I've been told, Commissioner, that Jerome will play the last game of the season for Adamson only as a ceremonial thing so that he could exit the UAAP in his uniform wearing his sneakers. So, but anyway, it's a mythical joke, itong PBA, the selection of the 5. It has to be on merit. Yun na nga, tumawag isang agent, tumawag sa akin. Sabi niya, the PBA, one of my players who, was vying for the individual award did not get the award. And he was told na, the other guy was chosen because he played for the Asian Games. The criteria should be specific. Na, it's based on the conference. And you're not going to tell me that Mikey Williams is not in that conference. Hate him or like him. You can say stuff about his off-court issues. But he was MVP of the finals. He scored 38 points, 10 3-point shots, and I could make an argument that TNT would not have won without Mikey Williams. And he was taken out of it. And I know, I like CJ Perez. CJ Perez, good guy, had served his country, nakabakasyon na, umuwi just to play for Asian Games. But you're not telling me he's a better point guard than Mikey Williams. Kaya din, and then it's also, malaking ding sampal sa ibang teams, di ba? Like, do we really cannot look past San Miguel and Ginebra teams to be in the Mythical 5? So yun ang problema. It's bad. You have to be...
It's really the optics na parang talagang merong kailangang ayusin because it's never good to see only two teams dominate the awards, and obviously the Mythical 5 is something na hinahabol din ng mga players. Let's go to the NBA. Let's focus this time on what is happening in the NBA, and again the vibrance and the color is coming around, particularly with the innovation ng in-season tournament. And Naveen, I want to ask you about this. Are you impressed with the in-season tournament, with this experiment of the NBA? You're on mute, Naveen. I think you're on mute.
Apologies for that. But yes, I do like it. In fact, I like it when basketball leagues or any sports leagues in particular try out new, fun, weird stuff. Right? Why not? That's the new generation we're living in now, the Gen Z generation.
That's right.
You just throw stuff on the wall, you see what fits, you see what sticks, and you see what's good. And you know what? I like the new court designs. I like the fact that basketball teams have something to play for in the US sports calendar that's usually dominated by American football. I like that there will be a end of the tournament in Las Vegas to determine a champion. It just adds some excitement, some extra stakes to the games. And when you take into account that the NBA is an 82-game regular season, you make some of those games have some extra stakes, extra excitement, something worth playing for. Why the heck not? Why not? Let's try new stuff. Let's be fun about it. A lot of times we're usually asking our local leagues to do the same, right?
Yeah.
So, and now the NBA is doing it. And if the NBA is doing it, then everybody else doesn't really have a reason not to do it.
You know, it's an idea. The in-season, of course, is not original to the NBA. It has been done in the past in soccer as well as in Europe. But again, the NBA is putting its own flavor. Homer, bakit? Why did the NBA do this particular experiment, and what do they hope to achieve? And are the players reacting positively to this?
Yes, according to the NBA's own press release, it's to more fan engagement, to make it more exciting. Kagaya na sinabi ni Naveen, to add more flavor. And for the players, it's more exposure. The games that are the in-season games are televised, and it's never a bad thing to have the championship or the knockout round to be played in Las Vegas. But it's not for everybody, Commissioner. I'm 55 years old. I'm too old for new things. I'm this. As sinabi nga ni Naveen, there's 30 teams in 82 games each. That's 24. That's 2,460 games, and then you have to add another couple games pagdating ng knockout rounds. It's more than enough for me to keep up. But hey, whatever works for the NBA, support tayo. But
Iba na talaga generation ninyo ni Naveen. But let me correct you with that. 8 ang nakaschedule sa NBA. Again, this is the way the NBA thinks. They scheduled only 80 games. The 2 extra games are because of the in-season. Whoever makes it is counted in the regular season. Yung mga hindi makapasok sa quarterfinals will be given extra games by the NBA. They will make the adjustment. Ganon ka sharp ang pag-iisip ng NBA. And talking about sharpness, I want to ask the two of you about how sharp you are. What are your predictions? I have the groupings here and I want to get your choices for both East and West groupings. Lagabas nga natin, Santi, yung groupings natin. I'll begin with Naveen on this particular portion. Sino ang sa tingin yung lulusot dyan sa groupings ng in-season tournament? Let's start with West A, B, and C. Naveen, sino sa tingin mo para sa'yo?
Okay, West A, I am going to say the Phoenix Sun. No, sorry. I'm going to say the Los Angeles Lakers because I think right now Phoenix is having some health issues they have to deal with. West B, I am going to pick the Denver Nuggets because they have the best player in the NBA today. West C, I am going to pick, you know what, I'm going to say the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Wow.
I like
great
they
pick.
have been playing very well so far to start the season.
Okay, let's stop with that. Then I'll go with Homer's. Homer, ikaw sa West. Sino sa tingin mo?
I like the Suns, even though the issues are minor right now, cap strain for Devin Booker, but everything is said and done, I think they'll emerge out of that pool. Denver, they won't have Jamal Murray for a month. That's significant. So I like the Clippers there.
Wow.
And then C, I am a hopelessly unrepentant fan of the Golden State Warriors. So Steph Curry and company for West C.
Wow, that's good. I agree. I think as far as I'm concerned, I think the Suns are still a tough team. I think in the B, I still will go with the best player in the world, Jokic, and I like the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they're playing one of the some of the best games that they've done in so many years. Let's go to the East. Homer, I'll begin with you. East A, B, and C.
Well, I'm pandering to the host here because I love the host. 76ers.
You mean it in your heart.
Yes, I do. Coach Joel Embiid, I think the happiness, you can see, sabi nga ni Kendrick Perkins kanina at the NBA Today show that parang happy sila. At saka Brian Windhorst also said walang distraction, everybody happy. And the departure of James Harden has allowed Maxey to come out of his own.
Yes.
Kasi dati he would just defer to James Harden. So I like Joel Embiid in there and the Sixers in East A. Yes, B is it's a no-brainer. Milwaukee is really good, Commissioner. I don't know how many games you've seen with the Bucks this season, pero napakagaling nila. So that would be Milwaukee, and then I'm looking at the Boston Celtics on C.
Naveen?
So East A, I'm going to pick the Philadelphia 76ers as well. I think what they are doing under new head coach Nick Nurse has really, after the James Harden experience, it's given a new energy to the 76ers that I like. I also like how Tyrese Maxey has been playing as of late. He and Joel Embiid have that natural connection as well that's really fitting well. East B, I am going to go with my team, the Miami Heat. I do think that Milwaukee has a good record, but I think defensively they've had some serious problems with the installation of a new head coach, with the arrival of Dame Lillard, who's a great offensive player, but defensively has his limitations. Chris Middleton is also still not 100% healthy, I think. And I like Miami. I always trust in Jimmy Butler. East C, I think it's clearly the Boston Celtics.
I agree. Of course, I'm a Sixer fan. It'll be the Sixers. I think they're playing the best on both ends right now. Bucks and Celtics for me. There are two other wild card teams here. One from the West, one from the East in terms of the best second place team. Give me your choices right there. Homer.
Denver and Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma.
No, only one from
Denver
the West. Only one from the West, one from the East.
I like Denver and Miami Heat.
Naveen?
I am going to say Dallas because I think they've been playing well so far to start the season. And my other wild card from the East, I'm going to say Milwaukee.
All right. I'll go with Golden State Warriors and Atlanta. I think Atlanta is playing also very, very well today. Let me ask you about, talking about teams that are not playing so well right now. And ito yung problema ng Los Angeles. The two teams are a little bit in a bind. Alam naman natin nangyayari. The Lakers have not started the way they wanted to. And of course, the Clippers have been surprisingly having problems even with the James Harden addition. Pero who is the bigger concern para sa inyo? Lakers or Clippers? I'll begin with you, Homer.
Clippers. Because at least doon sa Philadelphia commissioner, they already had a nurse to take care of James Harden. Dito sa LA, they don't have a doctor. So, kasi itong si James Harden, he's a disruptor. At some point ngayon, he's saying the right things. I like it here and I like to play here with the system and ganito. But at the end of the day, when the going gets rough, he will demand the ball, he will demand the shots, he will be high maintenance. So yun ang concern ko. With the Lakers, the pieces are there. It's more of Coach Darvingham trying to find the right chemistry, which one to play with which set of guys.
Right.
Even Magic Johnson himself said that give it 2 months. If it does not work in 2 months, then we worry. But right now, the Lakers, even though they're 3-5 commissioner, even I, who don't, I'm not really a big fan of LeBron, but I like the Lakers.
Naveen, who's the bigger concern?
I think the Clippers is the bigger concern because I just think that the trade for James Harden did not exactly add to their... Well, to some degree, it added what they were already good at, which was having guys who need the ball to create, who want to control the offense, who want to dictate where the ball is going to. ISO players, Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi, Paul George. The Lakers, on the other hand, I still think that the roster pieces fit each other better. They have just been hit by a lot of bad luck when it comes to injuries to start the season. Anthony Davis already missing games. Torian Prince hasn't played all games. Gabe Vincent has been injured, etc. But I think if the Lakers is healthy, these pieces fit well with each other.
Right.
And given the way LeBron James has been playing, even at this stage of his career, he is still a marvel to watch on the basketball court.
Right.
I still like this Lakers team more.
Well, sana nga at maraming fans ang Lakers. Now, is Denver, they're leading the NBA right now with an 8-1 record. Is Denver still the team to beat, Naveen?
100%. Now, I know Jamal Murray's injured. He might miss about a month. But I think if healthy, the Denver Nuggets are 1,000% the team to beat in the NBA. In fact, I think they will go back-to-back in terms of winning NBA championships. They have the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, an offensive cheat code that could go into any team and absolutely change their franchise. But if you look at the rest of the Nuggets roster, they've got quality role pieces that fit their two best players. Jamal Murray is an excellent number 2 option for a championship team. Aaron Gordon is a great two-way player with size. Michael Porter Jr. is a great floor spreader with size. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is the kind of role player that every championship contender needs. They are well coached. They have a young bench. They are on the rise. And right now, they are still the best team in the NBA.
I have about 2 minutes here, Homer. Who is the surprise team so far for you?
For For me, Milwaukee, because I thought Dame Lillard would not meld well this quickly with the Milwaukee Bucks, considering that he's technically is the third option there because they had Middleton, who's also an all-star and a resident there. So, akala ko, it will take time, but how quickly they melded. So, na-surprise ako, Commissioner. But I agree with Naveen that Denver is the team to beat. Isa lang ang mas mabilis pa sa Denver, Commissioner. Alam mo ba ano yon, Commissioner?
Ano yun?
Yung mga bagong taxi ng Joyride. Yun, mabilis yun. Good luck,
Alright.
habulin nyo yan.
Bago natin pag-usapan yung mga mabibilis na taxing yan. Pero yung biggest disappointment so far para sa'yo, Naveen?
This NBA season?
In the season. Among the teams. I've got about a minute here.
Okay, biggest disappointment so far, I would have to say the Clippers. I really would have to. Because I just don't think this James Harden trade was good for them. I get why they feel like they had to do it. But I felt that Westbrook was playing well, and adding Harden there just kind of takes away what Westbrook does well. I think they needed another quality big to add to the players they that they already had. And they didn't really need James Harden.
Yeah. Homer, biggest disappointment so far for you?
Maybe because I'm a polluted source, I live here, Chicago. The Bulls, Commissioner, they have the same core. You'd think Patrick Williams would grow now. You'd think Kobe White will grow. You'd think Zach LaVine would take over. The coaching is very good. And then what happened? After one game, the first game of the regular season, nag-players meeting agad. That's the equivalent of Northport saying that was a statement game. Come on, it's the first game of the season. So, yun na, disappointed ako sa Chicago Bulls, Commissioner. I thought they would have done better by now, but they haven't. So
Chicago is a team that is rebuilding pero hindi nila alam that they are rebuilding.
Yes.
I think also another team that's very disappointing for me so far has been New York. I thought New York would play better after a year with Brunson, picking up guys that are very familiar with. I think they're very disappointing right now. And of course, Sacramento. Medyo Sacramento.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I thought Sacramento would be more at the top, but right now they're struggling as well. Of course, it's too early to say with just less than 10 games into the season. Gentlemen, nako, maraming salamat for sharing us with your thoughts on the NBA as well as the PBA. Ang dami nangyayari. It's basketball heaven for all of us, and let's just enjoy it. The in-season tournament is here, and I'm sure you will enjoy it when you go to Las Vegas, Homer. Thank you so much, Naveen and Homer.
Blue Eagles Sunday. They're not losing to Adamson.
I'll see you in the game, Naveen. I'll see you in the game.
See you all. Enjoy. Thank you, Sir Nolly.
Maraming salamat. Homer, thank you so much. Yan po mga kaibigan natin, Naveen Ganglani and Homer Sayson, enjoying this discussion about basketball. It is heaven right now dahil ang dami-dami nangyayari. And of course, tayo mga sports fans, well, we're enjoying every bit of it. All right, before we bring you our final and very special guests, well, mga kapatid, isa muna pong pagsilip sa mga ala-ala ng nakaraan this week in sports history.
Power and Play with Nolly Iyala.
Ang tagal na nito November 10, 1857, 166 years ago on this day, ginanap ang pinakaunang American Chess Congress. Saan mo nahanap to Santi at saka Chester? Panalo sa inaugural tournament si Paul Murphy na tinalo si Louis Paulson 6-2. May record siyang 14 wins, 3 draws at 1 loss sa tournament. Ang American Chess Congress ang predecessor ng kasalukuyang US Chess Championship. Paul Murphy wins inaugural American Chess Congress this week in sports history. Nako, pambihira yung mga trivia mo ngayon Si Chester ba yan? All right. And at this point, mga kaibigan, it's time for us to put the spotlight once again on this time volleyball royalty. Ito po ang ating feature in the spotlight.
Power and Play with Nolly Iyala.
They are perhaps two of the most celebrated names in volleyball today. And of course, ang kanilang koponan sits at the top of the PVL second All-Filipino Conference na nangyayari po sa kasalukuyan. Ang kasama po natin ngayon, volleyball royalty indeed, si Alyssa Valdez and Michele Gumabao ng Creamline Quick Masters. Hi, Light. Thank you for joining us. And Michele, thank you for joining us this morning.
Hi, Nolly.
Naku,
Good morning
nakakatuwa.
po.
Alam ko very, very busy kayo and of course you're coming off a very, very good game and the team is doing so well, undefeated. I wanna lead into this, no? Dahil may mga nabasa ako na part of the concept daw, and I wanna ask the two of you about this, of collaboration on your team or using almost the entire bench has been very important. Paano nangyari itong concept na to, Lai, para sa Creamline? Itong concept of using the entire and of course your bench very, very extensively.
Well, aside from lahat naman po talaga maaasahan sa buong Creamline team, I think our coaches talaga instilled in our system na pwedeng gamitin lahat. And yun talaga po yung pinapractice din namin every single day. Lahat umiikot in practice, lahat ginagawa in practice, at lahat magkakasama. Kahit sinong katabi mo, kahit sino yung setter mo, talagang iisa yung sistema na gagawin mo. That's why I think it's very effective every single game. And it's been working for us. And we're really hoping na it's really our advantage going forward this conference.
How much has the team bought into this, Michele? Itong concept na to. And of course, yung point na wala na yatang bench itong Creamline Cool Smashers. Parang gano'n ang gustong ipagawin ni Coach Sherwin. How much have you bought into this and do you like it?
Actually, Nolly, ever since naman when Creamline first started, even naman our second stringers were also first stringers back in college in their respective teams. So, everybody talaga is trustworthy pagdating sa loob or pagiging first six. Everybody can embrace that role. So, everybody po dito sa Creamline talaga, number one, bawal talaga yung superstar mentality. Hindi pwede yung pundito ka, gusto mo sarili mong playing time. Because our coaches really make us understand na mahaba yung season, ang daming games, ang daming teams. And our mantra is to just really work together. So, if kailangan palitan, if kailangan magpahinga, if kailangan magkaroon ng spark sa loob, magpapalit kami ng lineup, then gagawin namin yun. And we have to be equally happy for each other and really support each other pag nasa loob. And lahat naman po kami in practice, like what Alyssa said, we're prepared for it, we work for it. So, kung pwede lang lahat ng posisyon i-practice namin, ipapractice ko talaga namin.
Oo nga, nakikita ko yun. Even yung depth chart ninyo, talagang kahit na sino, nakakapaglaro in so many positions. You know, Michele, maraming nagsasabi, in fact, kanina some of my guests were saying that you are maybe one of those top MVP candidates if the season had ended today. How are you, itong second win mo, your resurgence as a player, what has been the biggest reason for this?
I think just staying healthy po is the most important thing. And like what I said also before, it really doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. So I'm happy that there is a strong start, but I'm looking forward to finishing this season healthy and finishing this season without any major injuries and just getting through and hopefully winning the championship. Yung individual awards po kasi talagang darating yan if para sa'yo talaga. But it's the championship that we're really looking forward to and working hard for. Kasi yun po yung talagang goal po talaga ng team. All the individual awards, it will happen if you perform or if you do your job. Parang it's nothing new naman na ginagawa namin yung trabaho namin. We have to score, we have to contribute. So I'm just really happy lang talaga that I, of course, getting to play again, but it's really just being healthy and being strong also.
Talking about awards, Alyssa, you've gotten almost everything sa volleyball. And of course, the championships, when talk about GOATs in volleyball, nandyan lagi yung pangalan mo. But now you're coming off the bench and you are coming off a different role. How has this role changed you? Meron bang pagbabago? Ito ba'y okay na okay sa'yo? Itong role coming off the bench?
This also gives us that opportunity to see volleyball and the team in a different perspective. And I'm actually thinking in such a way na alam niyo po kung saan na makakatulong and ano yung role namin as a team. And hindi naman po talaga pinaparamdam sa amin dito sa team na pag galing ka off the bench ka, ito lang yung natutulong mo sa team. I think very important lahat ng roles and lahat ng position na binibigay sa amin po ng mga coaches. And mas lalo ko po actually alam mo yun, may different challenge ulit at this stage in my career, and I really want to embrace it. And I hope this journey then after recovering from an injury din, talagang mas maganda po ang career pa natin sa volleyball and mas humaba.
Yan daw ang sign ng greatness yung the way you can just adjust to every situation and cope with every kind of I guess challenge sa inyong career. And talking about coping, alam naman natin that Creamline has coped with the loss of Gia Morado and of course said Domingo sa kanilang pag-alis sa team. Pero and yet you remain a very strong, you're unbeaten so far. What has been the key? Alyssa, bakit ang ganda ng adjustment and parang walang nangyari?
Well, there are a lot of adjustments po talaga. We actually missed Gia and Celine, but our coaches, they've been very hardworking din po sa end nila. Grabe yung pag-aaral nila kung ano po yung makakabuti po sa team namin. And I think it's a magandang collaboration between the coaches and the players din na nakikinig din po kami sa lahat ng mga adjustment na ipapagawa din po sa amin. I think it's the open communication din po talaga. And aside from that, we've been together actually for siguro 7 years na rin together. So talagang we're banking on that familiarity din and closeness as a team. And I guess one thing na masasabi ko, yung growth din namin as a team, it's not just a matter of who will score, it's a matter of siguro how will we finish the game.
Well, you have been finishing really strong. Of course, nakita natin yung last game nyo against Petrogas where you just you were down, you had a comeback and you really finished strong and of course kept your unbeaten run. And Michele, the drive to the semis, of course, malapit na yan para sa inyo with a 5-0 record. You're almost really there. What has been the key so far para sa team ninyo?
Our key po, and all the time naman po, it's really to practice hard and to prepare well, no matter who is on the opposite side of the court. Our coaches also reminds us na kailangan magpa-condition kami, kailangan i-prioritize talaga namin yung trabaho namin, and kailangan talaga parang naka-mindset talaga kami lahat this season. And that mindset is really to just perform each game, each training. So we really start in training. Our job is to practice well, to give 100% in practice para pagdating po sa game, maka-execute kami ng tama. So coming into the semifinals, we just really want to be complete. We are really praying to have no injuries and for everybody to be healthy and to just continue to play well and right recovery lang po.
One thing about Creamline is that you are multi-titled. Of course, yung last invitational medyo kinapos, pero in the first All-Filipino, kayo pa rin ang kampiyon. And that championship culture has been both a blessing as well as a challenge dahil kailangan ma-maintain nyo na yung level na yan. What drives you, Alyssa? Yung bang failures, is that something that still drives this team? Or is it just something to prove? What else motivates the group?
Well, I think it's always harder to defend the title po, and that's one thing that motivates us every single time. And honestly, every championship, every games namin, ang dami pa rin namin nakikita na lapses and things to improve on. So I guess we're all very competitive in nature in our team po. So, pagbalik, manalo, matalo, meron talaga kaming pagbalik po ng practice. May gusto kami pang matutunan and gusto pang i-correct. And I think that's a very nice culture here in Creamline. And ganda din po na minimake sure po ng mga coaches namin na we don't settle. After every game, we head on to the next game. I think it's a good mentality din po talaga, one game at a time. And sabi nga po nila, you're defined by your last game. So, kailangan every game consistent ka lang. So, yun lang talaga. I think consistency is one thing that motivates us as a team.
Wow. And that's very difficult when you reach a certain level of winning, yung consistency, dahil that's near perfection. And Michele, ano ba yan? Who is the bigger challenger para sa inyo? Yung mga kalaban ninyo or your attainment or trying to attain perfection or consistency, as Alyssa said?
I think it's really ourselves po talaga, Sir Nolly, because nag-uumpisa po talaga sa practice kapag kunyari tinamad yung isa, magkakahawa-hawa yan if you're having a bad day. So you really have to overcome a lot of things personally so that you can be the best teammate to your team. And pagdating po kasi talaga sa game, it really just has to come out. Kung ano yung pinapractice namin, yun lang talaga yung lalabas. And siguro what also helps is gusto talaga kaming talunin ng lahat ng team. And kita naman natin yun kasi every time they play against us, against Creamline, they really bring their A game. And yun yung gusto naman talaga namin. And that's also the respect that we want to show all the teams that we're up against na we will play our best and pinaghahandaan namin sila kahit sino yung team. Kahit wala pang panalo or kahit number 2, 3 man yan or nasa bottom, we were really prepared for everyone the same way. And kahit nga po yung last game namin, Comnoli, mga 10:30 na kami natapos.
Oo, pinapanood ko nga yun.
Pa kami may practice ng 6 a.m. So talagang kailangan po talaga nandun yung discipline and like what Alyssa said, consistency and competitiveness po talaga yung edge po talaga ng Creamline.
And it's certainly a lesson for everyone else to follow na para ma-maintain yung galing. You know, talking about teams, 12 teams na ang PVL. What does this mean for you, ladies? You know, Michele, what does it mean? 12 teams, lumalaki pa. And the talent doesn't seem to be nawawala. Andiyan pa rin. Maganda pa rin ang quality. What does it mean for you, Michele?
Looking how volleyball Comnoli has come so far, back in 2013, when I first played for the first ever commercial league, ibang-iba na po talaga. The support from the fans, the support from the different teams, the support from the league, it has really come a long way and we're really blessed to be able to be part of this era or this generation. And we're just really thankful. I'm just really thankful and grateful that everybody is enjoying the sport, everybody is loving the sport like us, and everybody likes to watch and just supports. Yun lang po yung pinaka-importante. Without the support of the fans, hindi po talaga lalaki yung volleyball ng ganito. So kasama po talaga sila on this victory for volleyball. And it's only just the beginning, I believe.
Well, you know, obviously yung pagkakapantay-pantay ng teams, ng liga, the parity, yung tinatawag na parity, very important kasi nga very unpredictable ang mga laban. Although you have been dominant, hindi mo naman masasabing ganun-ganun lang yung laro ninyo. Yung talagang pinapahirapan kayo ng mga kalaban. How do you think can the PVL maintain this parity, Alyssa?
Oh wow, that's a very hard question talaga.
Especially sa inyo kasi obviously kayo gusto nyo malakas lagi team ninyo, di ba? But you know, when you talk about the bottom teams para makahabol, you think a draft is about time? It's time for a drafting system as well?
Well, honestly, one thing siguro po na napansin din namin, the teams na medyo nasa baba pa, siguro yun yung mga inexperienced team na bago pa lang dito sa liga and bago sa professional league. So we're really hoping na mas ma-develop din nila. And for sure, given na yung exposure na meron sila ngayong conference, for sure next conference it would be a different ball game again. But as you've said po, I think for other teams to be able to acquire and get other top players, siguro medyo mahirap po talaga ang siguro recruitment. Pati yung recruitment po kasi syempre at the end of the day magkakaroon po ng edge yung isang team. It depends on ano yung practicality reasons also or ano kailangan ng mga players na nire-recruit po. So hopefully we're really looking forward na maging at par din po talaga lahat ng teams and makakuha ng kanya-kanyang mga
magagaling na players din, ano?
Star players and quality players po ang bawat teams in the near future.
I cannot help but ask this, and of course, a lot of people are asking it. Mahirap hindi i-compare. But do you think volleyball has the chance to replace basketball as the top spectator sport? Women's volleyball, for that matter. If it has not at all. Kung hindi pa, baka nga napalitan na because sa dami ng taong nanonood. Do you think that's something or hindi unfair? For the two of you, Alyssa, I'll start with you.
Well, definitely basketball has been there for quite a while. Tagal na rin po ng PBA at tagal na din po may mga sumusuporta po sa basketball. And I think kahit pa paano, may community din po ang basketball at iba din naman po ang community ng volleyball. But seeing it in our perspective lang din naman po, parang kahit papano, hindi rin po nawawala ng mga supporters po ang volleyball.
Yeah.
So, I think it's not really a competition. We just really hope na ma-welcome din kami ng basketball community and yung volleyball community, welcome din po yung basketball para mas maganda po yung sports community natin dito sa Philippines. But really looking forward na patuloy pong sumuporta ang ating mga fans and supporters sa volleyball din po.
Michele?
I think naman po, Nolly, it's not really a choice. It's just really a matter of preference. Na kung gusto mo yung volleyball or kung mas gusto mo yung basketball, there are some people who like sports in general and they just watch everything. So the Philippines, I think, is big enough and the fans are more than enough for both sports and even more sports sana to come and professionalize also, commercialize also. We have so much room for a lot more sports to also be put in the limelight like basketball and volleyball. So, pero as of now, we see talaga the how people are enjoying watching volleyball live or in TV, and we're really thankful for that. I don't think naman like Alyssa and I or all the players have compared the success of volleyball to how basketball is. Kasi kahit naman kami nanonood kami and fans din naman kami ng basketball. So,
Alam ko yan.
pare-pareho lang. And I also have a lot of friends from the PBA who also come and watch our games and who also come and support. So, it's a healthy, good competition and camaraderie na rin between the athletes.
Huwag na natin pag-usapan yung relationship ng basketball at volleyball. Baka kung saan pa tayo mapunta dyan. But before I let you go, again, hindi naman tayo lahat bumabata. Obviously, there's gonna be life after volleyball. Michele, are you still looking at politics? Meron ba yan?
Nolly, I think so. I think in the future, I think it's also in the cards for me. I don't know, but I'm hoping. I do want to serve. I do want to help out. My heart has always been to serve and to just contribute in any way I can. Yeah. So we'll see after a few years, and we'll see after volleyball if really that's the path for me.
Well, that's a platform that you have to use, and you use it to the best that you can. Alyssa, ikaw, what is it that you're looking at? Obviously, your legacy is already cemented sa volleyball. Are you looking at politics? Are you looking at disengaging from volleyball completely pag nawala ka na sa game?
Oh,
actually,
wow.
Nolly, sa beauty pageant daw po si Alyssa.
Bakit hindi? Bakit hindi? Alam kong
Kasi wala
maraming
na yung
boboto dyan. Nako,
Wow. Wow, Ems, grabe ha. Pero,
I support.
kung siguro, honestly, it's just so hard to tell right now. Kami ni MG, we still wanna, syempre, bring the best out in each other. Bata pa kami ko.
Alam ko naman. Alam ko naman.
But really, I think, aside from playing volleyball and this sport, we want to share our knowledge to the young kids.
Yes.
And hopefully, magawa po namin yan. I'm actually, kami ni na MG, meron kami mga camps. And sana mas madami pa tayong matulungan and maturuan mga kabataan para tuloy-tuloy po ang volleyball programs. And mas madami tayong makikita sa mga professional leagues and sa mga UAAP and NCAA na mga naglalaro po ng mga kabataan ng volleyball.
Well, alam ko bata pa kayo and we don't want you to end your playing days. We wanted you to continue forever. But of course, we always have to plan. Thank you so much, Alyssa and Michele. It was fun having you this morning. Good luck sa mga laban. And of course, magpatuloy kayo sa inyong mga ginagawa. Maraming salamat. Mga kaibigan, volleyball royalty in the house. Alyssa Valdez and of course, Michele Gumabao ng Creamline, Cool Smashers. Just a wonderful pair. A great two people who really have contributed so much sa laro ng volleyball. Alright, mag-ubusan na tayo ng oras dito. I just want to make an announcement para sa mga nanalo ng Joyride Top-Up promo ngayong araw pong ito. Nanalo po ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits si Shaneline Zamora, Chris Rajas, Mary Sean Kial, Rona K. Rocafor at si Robert Agasa. Congratulations sa inyo lahat. Yung nanalo naman ng limited edition Aqua Flask last week, palabas natin kagad. Last week po ito, nanalo ng limited edition Joyride Aqua Flask. Nasaan na? Sandy. Baka mamaya maubusan tayo. Yan! Ems Manriquez, ang Joyride passenger. At saka si James Clifford Tere, ang Joyride driver. Partner, you win ang Joyride Aqua Flask. Doon sa driver sa opisina, makukuha yan sa Joyride. Alright, mga kaibigan, that'll do it for us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. 11:11, enjoy your shopping today. At lagi po natin sinasabi, Tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit at sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH, teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inyong paboritong Inay Ko Po. Happy Sports Weekend mga kapatid! More power, more play!
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Chumbe, Sibay, Lakay, Amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko Pilipino. Pilipino, yan ang Pinoy.
Alas 10 ng umaga.